This is Outdoor Lore. Come outside with us as Andrew, Luke, and our family and friends go outside and create memories, stories, and traditions that will be passed down for generations. Welcome to Outdoor Lore.
Welcome to Outdoor Lore.
Outdoor Lore.
Well, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. It's November 23rd, 2023. It's also my dad's birthday. Happy birthday, Jake. We are again up near Canada and trying a new spot. Just over a mile in on this old road. There's alders absolutely obnoxious hanging out over the road. Snow's deep, you don't walk through it if you don't have to. We're looking for just about anything here. Tries to go and falling. Looks pretty old. Once we get up here, if we find something, probably gonna get on it. In the area, it's got some much steeper elevation today. Not that far from where we were yesterday. Just up against some bigger mountains. There's a big mountain off to my left, a big mountain off in front of me, which can't be seen right now, but they're there. Switching sides of the road around these alders. It's real annoying. So the GoPro battery's only at 13%. I got another one, but I guess it didn't charge last night. So I'm gonna turn it off for a while. Well, that old doe started going back up the hill. I'm just not doing it right now. It's a big old buck I chase it. I've done a big circle. So I'm back out kind of to where I hit the last road. So I'm gonna walk down my old back tracks and see if there's any new prints on it. I'll go back and have a sandwich. I'm already 5-something miles in. And I got 2 miles to the truck. I'm putting it on today. Hopefully Andrew and Jody killed something. Good morning. It's November 24th. Beautiful morning. Cold, windy, snowing a little bit. It's supposed to go really, really cold today. Like into low teens by the end of the hunt. My knee's acting up pretty bad, so kind of taking it slow, walking this logging road. I've found a couple tracks, nothing fresh. Nothing yet. Fired me up to go after. It's gotta be pretty close if I'm gonna catch it today. I'm just moving a little slower. But Monday, Andrew and I tracked a buck down through this, and he ended up going down this logging road. It's a pinch point between a pond on the left and a nasty swamp on the right. So my plan is gonna slowly hike up there, get the wind in my face, and hunt that pitch point for an hour or so. And after that, there's a pinch point up on the mountain a little bit. When I say mountain, it's a hill. It's like the pinch is maybe 1,600 feet, and the points above it are 1,750, 1,800 feet. So I'm hoping that the little buck crosses between one of these places.
On both days 4 and 5, most of our time once again was spent just looking for tracks. We did find some, but they seemed to be old and or moving faster than we could keep up in such deep snow. You can see here in the footage just how cold and snowy it really was, really the entire trip.
What would you like to know?
What's the plan today? What are we doing?
So, it's the last day. You haven't seen me in a while. We haven't been hunting together. It's been a lot of walking in the woods, not much shooting a deer yet. It's Saturday morning, back on the Canada side. It's about 4 degrees.
Before the
today.
wind chill.
Yeah, before wind chill.
Feels like
We're
-2 or
gonna
3.
the plan for today is put the hammer down as it is for every day. So we're gonna do a lot of walking, a lot of pushing, and then as the day gets later, we're gonna start working our way back.
A lot
Not
of
track anything that's coming back towards the truck.
a lot of buck dragging today.
We've done a lot of tracking of does and little bucks, and it's all been for naught thus far.
It's slammer time.
By day 6, we were both pretty whooped, and as you can see me walking up this hill here, this was the deepest snow and the coldest temperatures that we had dealt with all week. But we were pretty motivated, so we climbed up this hill here, and to start the day, once we got to the top of the ridge, we were up above a really nice bedding area that Jody had seen tracks in before. So we stopped at the top of the hill and sort of just looked down and waited until the sun came up above us before we went down, where we ended up picking up some tracks that you'll see here in a little bit.
And what we think is a decent buck. We're way out here. We're kind of to the point where, lunchtime is going to be our cutoff to be able to get a deer back. So we think well about it. Now behind this buck, we're not really sure though. You can see it's pretty fresh. So we're going to keep pushing on it. And if we jump at one time, we'll slow down. But it's so hot, we don't think we're going to be able to just sneak up into this deer's bed. So it might be a chase. Be good if we get the chase to go towards the truck. We're still on this deer and we think he's pretty fresh. We don't know exactly how fresh. Our problem now is for 1 mile from the border, we're headed straight at it. So we've decided to push hard. We're at least going to see this deer. Hopefully. And if we don't get him, we'll blame it on Tecumseh helping those French fellas establish a country and whatnot. Oh, I don't love this. You look between that. Keep pushing. Pretty big track. A couple times we found where he stepped in the water and it's been frozen or semi-frozen. That's impossible for us to judge. It's 4 degrees. Probably colder up here. Our water bottles freeze shut as soon as we break them open and take a sip. Gotta stay on it. I don't understand where this deer's going. These crews moved notice, but no sense of direction. We feel like we just gained some ground on him. I don't think he stopped. I think we just caught him a little bit. It's really hustling. Everything's even fresher now. He's definitely looking for does. He's jumped on 4 or 5 different doe tracks. 4 abandoned them. Feels like we're pretty close. Okay, this is absolute crunch time. We're about 300 yards from the border. We're still on this buck and he's chasing does, it looks like. Our problem is, even if we jump him here and shoot him here, does he stop running before the border? And keep all the way to the end. If we get to the border and he crosses, we'll probably wait a little while, see if he comes back. And this is gorgeous. And then try and start still hunting our way back to the truck. He's still right here.
So we just tracked a buck since like what, 7:30?
Yeah, just after.
About 3.5, 4 miles up a mountain. It's like 6 degrees outside, and that is the Canadian border. So we'll walk into a little bit, and I declare this land to be my land. This land is your land. This is America now. Screw you, Canada. USA, 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 USA. Come on.
They took our deer.
They did.
So
But check that out. How beautiful is that? This is the tracks we were following for miles and miles and miles.
I wonder if there's a place we could get like a drive-through ribeye.
Drive-through ribeye?
Drive-through ribeye would be pretty strong.
Ribeye on the go?
Son, if I could drive through it and get like a
Like a ribeye and
prime
a nice, like,
cut,
like dark amber ale
medium,
for the road.
medium rare. Oh
Just
man, they'd probably have to cut it for me. That way I'm not using a steak knife while I'm driving. Airbags and steak knives are frowned upon.
Well, if it's
Son, you know what?
tender enough, you could just cut it with a fork.
No, you just pick it up. You pick that.
Okay, so tomahawk
Okay.
with the bone in.
Yeah, it's meat with a handle.
That's right.
God's plan.
God's plan. God, dude. Welcome to Canada.
Canada sucks.
Call me Ryan Reynolds. Welcome to Canada.
Canada stole our buck. There's some French talker over there about to shoot.
Parlez-vous, respondez-vous, s'il vous plaît. Whoa. Just walking through the woods.
Yeah, we're not trying to be quiet now, are we, I guess?
No, we're sure not.
Oh, we're on track.
Back in the game, boys.
This one's going to America.
This is one of them bucks that bleeds red, white, and blue.
Hold on. Let me check our... Dude, sick move.
See that, bro?
Was that our best track?
Weather outside.
Was that our best track? Biggest buck, right?
I feel like biggest buck we were closest to for the longest.
I mean, you were close to that one that you jumped, but...
Yeah, but it was dark.
Right. I feel like two things could have changed this track. One, it didn't get on that deer highway.
We
Two,
never bet.
no. Two, Canada didn't exist.
Yeah, Canada doesn't exist. We kill all the deer.
Or Joe Biden built a wall.
Yeah, but he said he would.
Did he say that? I don't even think he said that.
I think that was campaign comments.
No.
I declare that I shall build a contiguous wall between the evil Canada and the pure and righteous United States.
Is that what he
Pretty
said?
sure that's what he said.
Look at the size of that deer.
That's
That's what we call a bull moose.
as big as a moose. That deer. I think we need to go more right.
We do. It looks real swampy though.
After tracking the buck roughly 3.5 miles from where we first picked up its tracks, we had a 4-mile hike back to the truck. I will let some of the footage roll here in the background, but the first 2 miles of this hike back was through some of the thickest woods we had seen all week. Combined with pretty mountainous terrain and deep snow, by the time we made it all the way back to the highway, which you'll see in a little bit here, it was already almost about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Once we had made it all the way back to the truck, it was nearing 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and Luke and I were sprawled out on the ground, waiting and thinking about what we should do prior to meeting up with the other guys. All told, in the day we had put in 8 miles already. When Eric walked up, he got a pretty good laugh at the sight of us all sprawled out on the ground. It being our last day, we were going back and forth debating on whether or not we should hunt until last light or go back to camp and get a jump on packing before a long drive home the next day. That is when Jody walked up. He goes, "I have good news and I have bad news. What do you want?" We go, "Give us the bad news." He goes, "I lost the clip to my gun. Backtracked my steps, I looked all over and I can't find it." He takes a long pause, and we're all sitting there waiting for the good news, and we finally go, "Well, what's the good news?" And he goes, "Oh, well, I need some help dragging out my buck." And up like a shot we all jumped and started marching off into the woods, and that's where we'll pick back up.
There he is.
Turn that boat around. Well, I've certainly seen smaller four-pointers.
Yeah, that's a big 4-pointer. Congratulations, Jody.
I had to wait for them to clear. But, you know, if he's taken 1 or 2 steps, he's been gone. Yep.
Andrew, grab the other end of him.
No, nothing big. All right, I'll let the bucks do it. The bucks can take the buck.
1, 2, 3.
Get inside.
Maybe grab his head. Yeah.
It's a big 4-pointer.
It's a big 4-pointer.
So you guys went down to here. This is where I saw the buck and the doe. That was on Wednesday, and that's where that nice little opening is.
Yeah.
And I shot him up here,
Okay.
and you guys had gone
Way out.
way out. That's how far I'd gone out before.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
Oh, you can smell him.
You were dragging him along this for how long?
I can tell you.
Shot at 9:30.
I know
It's
that's crazy.
2:30.
Well, probably I would say 10 by the time I filled out my tag and all that. I would say since 10:30 anyway.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You should be proud of yourself.
Yeah.
Impressive deer.
That's amazing.
Impressive
Last
conditions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't we give a quick thanks?
Yeah.
Father, for this day, for this week, for friends and family, for safety and for success, we give thanks. Help us to hold together until we get back to the cabin. For your many blessings, the beauty around us. The fact that as we look at this crazy world, we know that none of this surprises you. We're just keep us in your care and bring us safely. In Jesus' name.
Amen. And for the biggest 4-pointer I ever seen.
Sir.
Yeah,
Jody,
that's no Virginia 4 point.
I shot a 9-pointer, the biggest deer I've ever shot. That body wise, that dressed 165, and he looks about the same.
Yeah, I'm
As
thinking
this,
his
I think-
162 is going to be my
I
guy.
think you're right in there. That's
Easy.
just a slammer.
Yeah, that's a
Congratulations.
boy.
He was short, stocky deer, but I mean, I was shocked because I didn't have my clip and I had to put one in. I was shocked. Like I said, I kept walking and walking, no tracks, no tracks, no tracks, and then
There he
he was
was.
standing there looking at me. So he was hurt.
Should have brought a light cap. Oh well. I think you've done your
I'll pull
share of
first.
dragging.
Yep.
I'll drag first.
It looks like a 2-man pull.
We can team drag.
Yeah, you might probably be able to use
The hitch here. I think this is probably.
Well,
we are a little
I want to
close.
see how easy it is doing it this way.
We'll go a little help.
There's a lot of heft to him.
You can put.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's over 160.
He looks like 160 to me. I think it's a good guess.
Well, you just checked a 140. What was he? 141.
141.
Yeah. So
Yeah, he's just a
got
young
pretty-
deer, you know.
Yeah, mine was skinnier and way longer. Way skinnier and way longer. He was like a 6'3", 14-year-old. You know, that was 120. You know, in people. All right, I'll find if somebody wants to help me with this. Yeah, I would get him in. I would get him in the path.
He's a good buck.
He's a good buck. You should be proud of yourself. You've hunted hard.
Tell you, works long.
Yeah, you've hunted hard. That's the best 4-pointer I've ever seen. I mean, he's at least 15 inches wide on a 4-pointer.
Yeah,
You said he's a forky, a 4-pointer. I was like, all right. Nope, that's a.
I'm pretty sure it's the one I cast.
Really?
On Wednesday, yeah. I mean, it was blinding snow and. But,
Yeah.
You know, it looked like it should have been $10. What? I'm sorry. Yeah. Couldn't have done that if I
Everybody's moving the feet scale. Turned around, we can't even read it. What? Yeah, I got that. It's spinning the wrong way.
Wow, you get
Right,
to the
62.
pound. Wow.
That was a pretty good guess. This deer. He drank it. He knows what he went.
Yeah.
All right, we're into the end of our trip. Final synopsis pre-road trip home. What have you got to say? So
ridiculous without a headband. Let me put my headband.
the coolness factor, way up with a headband. Never take it off.
All right.
Headband Luke is prime Luke.
All right. So Maine is legit. It's beautiful country. It's awesome. I feel a little bit bad for the people that are here because they have to be here all the time.
Right. Like,
They don't get to come visit. Like, they actually have to exist in this area.
in other words, why would you live here?
The chain gorgeous. It's just you want to visit. You don't want to live here. Hunting.
Sort of like the crazy girl from college.
I'm gonna skip that.
Okay.
Hunting is hard here. It's different. You are running them down. We did the math earlier today. For every deer we saw, between the two of us, we walked 22 miles. That was
Which-
early in the day. At the end of the day,
It's
honestly,
probably
it was
close to a
25.
marathon.
It's probably 25 miles.
So you got to run a marathon, and then you get to see a deer.
Yep.
Which is a good reward
It's a good
for
run.
something that you could go out into the Rose Garden in Virginia for.
I don't know what that means.
Essentially, you step outside your house and there's a deer there.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot-
Do you not know expressions?
Sorry, I'm in a box. I live in a box.
You do.
Okay, I
You
live
do.
under a rock.
And I have the vocabulary of an 18th century sailor. Not the profane one. Maybe a ship's captain.
So, anyways,
Okay,
let's get
sorry.
back to it. We spent a lot of good time out in God's nature, God's creation. It was awesome.
We were closely bordering the godforsaken country of Canada.
You know, I hope for divine intervention in their
Yeah.
country.
Praise Deum, raise hail. That's what I always said.
We've chased bucks all over this state.
Uh,
As long as it's within
I think
20 miles of
I think we
Jackson.
averaged 10 to 15 miles per day.
Yeah. Between us, we did.
Between Luke and I,
Yeah, we did about 150 miles. I'd
easy,
say,
easy. Yeah.
in 6 days. We put it all out there. We had a great time.
So
It's awesome.
So what I was thinking about, and I've said this a couple of times already, Luke has a piece of land that he has permission to hunt on, that he's helping take care of and manage and doing a lot of improvements to the land. It's about, what, 450 acres? Okay, he's got cameras all over the place. He's got maybe
It's more surveilled than the White House.
6, 7 bucks that he's tracking at all times. Few of them named, but he has them like a school yearbook, pictures of them year over year. And he knows where they live, and he knows where they hang out, and he's got strategically placed tree stands all around that land, depending on what deer he's interested in hunting.
What the wind is.
That day, that year, that month, whatever it may be.
And
So he's got
successful with
So
it.
essentially, he's got, like, I don't know, 4 deer that he would be happy to take and would be like a high-level buck any given day for any hunter besides him, because he likes to take the cream of the crop.
And we've got about,
Piece de resistance.
we've got about 12 deer that most people would be pretty happy.
Okay, so keep that in mind. So 425 acres or so.
450.
450. Excuse me. 450. So one plot of the land out of, what, 7 that we hunted this week?
Yep. Probably about that.
On Onyx said 41,000 acres.
That's 3 zeros followed or per.
So 3 zeros, comma, 1 4. If you're gonna write it from right to left, like a psychopath. I don't know why you started like that. Freaking idiot.
41,000.
Yeah, 41,000.
0, 0, 0.
Common number, 41,000. Maybe the price of a Toyota Corolla these days.
Used.
Point being, the strategy up here is to. You're from Virginia. I'm from Virginia, but live in South Carolina. I drove 1,300 miles
Yep. I drove
to
900.
an area where we hunted probably roughly 160,000 acres. The strategy, rather than all the cameras and the tree stands and everything like that,
Right.
is first step, hope for snow. Second step, not too much snow, not too little snow, not snow
Just
2 days ago.
the right amount.
Just right. The Dr.
Just right.
Seuss of snow. Not
No.
Dr. Seuss.
It's
The
a little Goldilocks.
Goldilocks.
Goldilocks
The 3
is-
bears.
Yeah.
The porridge, just right. You want the snow, just right. So the
It's not
tracks
just right.
aren't.
You might as well stay home if it's not right.
That's right. That's what they say. That's what they say.
Just, you know what? And the locals, if it's not snowing, they're not going.
That's what they say.
I don't know
If
that's
it's
what
not
they say.
snowing, they're not going.
Those are dumb things
so-
to say.
First 3 things is the snow. Then you've got 160,000 acres in literally like a 20 square mile area that we drove to, where there's a bunch of other hunters, first of all.
Oh,
And then
a bunch
the
of-
strategy is not, yeah, we know there's a bunch of deer in this area, we're going to go to this area. No. We're just going to go into the woods, and we're going to walk until we see tracks. And then you have to be smart enough to know, was this track 2 minutes ago? Was it 2 days ago? Was it 2 years ago? I don't know. Is it fossilized? Is it petrified? Or is it still steaming hot? I'm not sure, but you have to then assume that you're faster than the deer and quieter than a field mouse.
4 legs. Deer have 4 legs.
4 legs.
We have 2.
So
I don't know
you
if you
will
know
go
that.
through this situation where, okay, I'm on a deer. Turns out it's a squirrel because it ends at the bottom of a tree, and then you look up and there's a squirrel.
No,
That was
to you.
well. Let's not forget that you thought a moose track was a deer. He's like,
could've been a
it's a
deer.
slammer. It's a giant. I'm gonna follow it. I'm like, that's a moose track. We've been seeing them all week. Go follow the moose. I'm going this
It
way.
was a tiny moose. I follow tiny moose. You follow tiny
That's right.
squirrels.
Okay, so all these things, and then you're tracking the deer, you're going through, you're pushing through brush. I'm sure you've seen footage of us pushing through brush.
And then it jumps.
And then
25
it
feet
jumps.
off the cliff.
So the feet prints go from every, I don't know, 12 inches as a
Yeah.
footprint, and they're dragging their
Maybe
toes
2
to the
feet,
snow.
35.
Something scares them. Who knows? A breeze. Cowards. Turn and fight like a man. And all of a sudden, rather than 4 little footprints,
No, there you go.
there's 4 footprints in the ground, and then 20 feet in the air, the next 4 footprints, and you're like, holy crap, I'm up against a super athlete.
That's right. The Michael Jordan
Also,
creatures.
how? They don't have calves.
Yeah, I don't know. They don't have calves.
They have fawns.
And then,
they also don't have calf muscles.
well, here's another
They're
point.
just all quad.
Here's another
How do you
point.
jump with no calf?
Here's another point, Andrew. Let me say this, okay? Even when you think you've done everything right and you think you're tracking a big buck, it's a small doe.
It could be a doe. Because apparently, in the Northwoods, does are 200 pounds. Luke's biggest deer is like a $120.
No, it's 165. The
Oh,
biggest deer I've ever
sure, it's a $120.
No.
He saw a doe and he thought it was the Liz doe.
The list doe.
Excuse me, the Lizzo of does.
List doe.
It was it. So I heard it. I jumped a deer maybe 3rd day. It sounded like a horse, like. I was like, "What is that?" It was almost dark, so I couldn't shoot. Obviously. Okay, I'm running on and on and on here. It was a really good trip. I would highly recommend it to anyone that's looking to
Take their gun for a walk.
take their gun for the walk in the woods, have it be really frosty and not really work at the end of it, never shoot a bullet, and walk 60 to 90 miles in a week
and have a
in
really amazing time.
and have a really good time with good buddies. Make a lot of good
In all
memories.
seriousness, it was an awesome trip.
Yeah. Would do it again
To sum it up,
in a heartbeat.
yeah, I wouldn't think about driving another 900 miles to do it again.
1,300 for me. And
We
we've
just
got
have to have managed expectations, which, to be fair,
yes.
we came into this with managed expectations.
Yeah.
Our expectations and our goals, when we're sitting in the truck in Virginia, we talked about it. Before we even left Virginia, we talked about it. Our goals were one guy in a party gets a deer.
Right.
Check.
Right.
Second,
I forgot to say, one of us did get a deer.
second goal,
Jody shot a banger 4-pointer, like 163 pounds. Great,
Yeah.
great deer.
slammer. Second goal, Luke gets a moose shed.
Didn't happen.
Didn't happen. Third goal,
We left it all out of the mountain.
we didn't have a third goal. Those were
Well,
our
if
two goals.
we're gonna have a third goal, let it be. We were gonna leave it all out on the mountain.
Check.
We definitely
Check.
did that.
No, we got back to the
Um,
truck a little early today after having left it all in the mountain.
Yeah.
We
We walked
this
to
is the
Canada for God's sake.
This is the kind of hunting where if you shoot a buck at 4 o'clock on your last day and you're 4 miles out,
It's no longer your last day.
It's not your last day.
No, your last day is now the day after your last day,
Yeah,
and you got to figure it out for yourself.
and
because
yeah.
To your point, we're not in a tree stand. We're not on a farm.
Right.
We're
We're
not.
not driving
we're-
4 wheels
also,
with the truck
it's
up
not
the truck.
really a mountain either. It's like giant, dense hills like you could never imagine. Like, it's not you're going up a mountain and there's a logging road to go up the mountain. We're working through, like, at best, like maple syrup sap line farms.
Yep.
Where there's sap lines between maple trees everywhere.
Hey,
At worst, we're going through cedar farms.
let's wrap this up.
Okay.
Let's wrap this up.
Wrap it up.
I just got a text message from Dad. Blades is alive. It is one of the top 5 best days of my life. I haven't seen a picture of Blades since October 29th. He's alive. Dad saw him driving out of the farm today. He lives. If he makes it to next year, we're talking about 160, maybe 170-inch deer. If he goes this year, he's probably in the 140s.
Still
He's an absolute slammer.
115 pounds.
No, he's not. No,
I get it.
no. Honestly, Blades would probably be my biggest bodied buck that I've ever killed. He'd probably dress. They care a lot about dress. How much a deer dresses up here. They care a lot about that. He'd probably dress 160, 170. He's a big deer. He's not like a big Maine deer, but he's an absolute Virginia hammer. And if he makes it through this year, we are talking about an absolute toad. A buck that is worth taking a month off to chase. And maybe bringing your buddies in and your brothers in. So let's get after him. If he doesn't go this year, he's going next year. Blades, may you rest in peace.
Beautiful.
Next year.
See ya.